Carl and Damon here from Brrraains A Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short, and it's They Made What into a TV series. We continue into the depths of Donkey Kong Country, the animated TV show, with episode number 9, Cranky's Tickle Tonic. Saw the title, went, this is not going to be a good episode. Yeah. Actually, I think it's decent. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
And Nadine van der Velde is back to write this episode. So, had a day off.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, you know, that kind of thing.
Sick, maybe ill, who knows. Yeah.
It's night on Congo Bongo, and everyone is sleeping. We've said this before, but I always really like the shots of night. It looks super peaceful, it looks super nice. But everyone is sleeping, including Cranky, until he's woken up by the distant sound of Eddie, the mean old Yeti, banging and crashing in the mountains. So Eddie is back. Cranky has had enough. Apparently this has been going on for days, and he decides he's going to mix a potion to use on the Yeti. And I was like, he's going to murder him. This got dark. Yeah. But it's not quite that. No. It's in the title, Tickle Tonic. Yeah. Which didn't really, in my head I was like, alright, so he's making a Tickle Tonic, but that's not good. That's going to make more noise, right?
Laugh, exactly, giggling,
which will turn out to literally be what happens. The next day, DK, Diddy and Funky are relaxing in the sun, feeling exhausted. It turns out that Eddie's noise is keeping everybody up.
Some loud Yeti then, like.
Well, I kind of went on the idea that the mountains create some sort of acoustic vibrations and stuff like that. The echo, perhaps, of him moaning and screaming and crying and all that.
If you've seen Tremors, one little sound.
There you go, exactly that. Cranky then appears as a hologram floating in the air and laughing. In between bouts of laughter, he orders DK to come to his hut. I always hate the hologram bit. Like, it's one of those where it just reminds me of the MacGuffin it is the crystal coconut. How is he able to become a fucking hologram?
That's too much. You know?
Yeah, and here's the thing: is we're not choosing the word hologram. They use the word hologram.
Yep.
So that exists in this world. K. Rool, yay! K. Rool's in this episode. In his lair, is complaining also about being kept up by Eddie, but he can't come up with any plans to like take over Congo Bongo. Because he's too tired. I was sitting there and I was like, no, it's because you're shit. Yeah. Your plans are shit. They amount to the same thing. Can you guys go get the crystal coconut and everybody fails?
Yep.
That's it. Your plans ain't great. But I did like the idea that everybody was being affected by Eddie. Because I go, we're going to go down a route where everybody has to team up to deal with Eddie. However, there is a thing. K. Rool doesn't actually know where the noise is coming from. Clump has narrowed it down to the White Mountains, though, and K. Rool orders him to go find out who is to blame. We do get some funny bits here where, like, Clump keeps falling asleep during conversations, and here he does it as well, just falls asleep before he can leave. In Cranky's hut, he reveals to DK and Diddy that it is something that will stop Eddie from making so much noise. He calls it a Tickle Tonic and says it will stop Eddie being so mean. Okay. I'll buy into it.
Yeah.
I also think that's very kid-friendly. Tickle Tonic. You say that to a kid, they're going to get, like, tickles.
They're going to get.
The problem is, though, this is a complex potion. Cranky needs to give it to him because it needs a secret ingredient that needs to be added at the very last second. Okay, alright. Somebody's got to set something up in a way. I don't mind it.
Of course, yeah.
But he orders DK to keep an eye on the coconut. And I was like, no, the coconut's in this episode.
Back to that again.
Yeah, Nadine van der Velde, didn't it?
Yep.
DK complains about being too tired, and Diddy suggests they make a potion to give him energy. Something that rightfully DK's like, we probably shouldn't fuck with Cranky's stuff. Do you mean there's some dangerous stuff here?
Yes.
But they do end up trying to make it, and but during a song, DK reads out a spell that seems to affect the crystal coconut, causing it to float away. DK and Diddy don't notice though, because the song is called "Mixing Your Cares Away." In an unusual thing for this show.
Yeah.
It's the only song in the episode. We normally get two per episode, but here we only get one. I did not like it.
No, because it sort of changes the whole theme of it, doesn't it?
I didn't like the song.
Oh, you don't like the song?
Yeah. I don't care too much about it being one song per episode. It was a bit like unusual. I guess maybe they couldn't find one that fit to do a second, but the song was a bit crap. And also, I'm just like, why is there a spell in Cranky's book that makes the crystal coconut float? Why does that exist? Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing?
It's for the episode.
Indeed it is. Once they finish, they drink their potions, but they see the coconut flying out the window, realising now, oh shit, you sung a spell, and they replay the words out loud and realise what they were saying.
Yep.
They then race after it as it floats away. Cranky is on Funky's plane, complaining about his journey. For good reason, as Funky's a fucking lunatic. I don't know why anybody would get in this plane with him. You know, he's high all the time. Meanwhile, DK and Diddy are chasing the coconut through the trees. In the plane, Cranky is literally losing his shit and orders Funky to land, but Funky, over the sound in the plane, mishears and thinks he's asked to be flown upside down. This causes the Tickle Tonic to fall out. Thankfully, Funky mishears Cranky again and does a supersonic flip, which allows Cranky to catch the potion. Have you ever seen Santa Claus the movie?
Yeah.
It's that. It's the loop.
Yeah.
The loop. Awesome Christmas movie, people.
Yeah.
Probably the most true, accurate portrayal of Santa Claus ever.
Definitely.
But that's off topic.
Yeah.
Actually, we'll talk about this, yeah. We'll do a different video for that. In K. Rool's lair, the lizard is about to lose his mind because of the noise being caused by Eddie. He contacts Clump, who is fast asleep. K. Rool wakes him up and Clump confirms that Eddie is to blame. Clump has now found out. He and the sleeping Crusher are going to deal with the Yeti. In the video, though, K. Rool sees the floating crystal coconut go floating behind them. And there is a funny scene where he's like, is there anything unusual going on there? Clump's like, no, sir, no, nothing going on. Like, I did laugh at that part, you know? He orders them to go for the coconut while he deals with Eddie. So I like that thinking. He's like, look, you get that coconut. It's there.
Yes.
I'll go deal with Eddie. Yeah, that's a... What? K. Rool? That's sensible.
It is sensible,
Yeah. DK and Diddy see that the coconut is heading past the barrel factory and decide to take Bluster's barrel copter to chase it. This is where I got annoyed. At one point, they're chasing the coconut through the tree, so it's high up. Then it's down low to be at Clump's height.
Yes.
Now it's back high enough that the captor...
Yeah.
Like, what is the floating... Like, what is this?
It keeps changing. Yeah.
Heights.
Yep.
Diddy manages to grab it, though, in the copter, but below them, Clump orders some minions to fire the claptraps at the helicopters, which they do. By the way, I think we'll say here, I am actually a stupidly big fan of the claptraps when they appear.
Yeah.
Because of their voices and the fact they're just basically like idiot things like, yeah, we get to eat!
Yeah.
And that just makes me laugh.
It's quite funny, yeah.
It's basically, dare I say, and I really hate using this reference, it is a precursor to things like Minions. These little annoying things that have very no brain and just do this kind of aspect thing, you know?
Yeah,
it's basically that. The claptraps eat the blades and DK and Diddy fall out of the sky. Seems like this again, it's a good scene because it's that whole comedic, cartoony, stop dead. It's sort of,
drop.
like the drop, the Looney Tunes aspect, you know? Hold up a flag, like Wile E. Coyote, that kind of thing. But the crystal coconut falls free, floats off a Clump and Crusher in pursuit. Meanwhile, Cranky sees Eddie and Funky, but Funky can't hear him. But he's such an idiot, Funky. This is one of those episodes where Funky's idiocy reaches new levels because he's like, I can't hear you. So he turns off the engine so they can communicate. I mean, I guess it's funny. This is like, you're a freaking fool.
It is funny, but it's like someone who's out of their face. That's what it does.
That's what it is, man. So they obviously start to crash. Meanwhile, DK and Diddy wake up from their crash, and DK is feeling down about how he's performing. So basically, he's like, I can't do shit. I can't even look up the coconut. I'm like, yeah, you are terrible at this.
Yes.
You are. But Diddy delivers a pick-me-up speech, and is set up after Clump. Meanwhile, Cranky and Funky have landed, but are arguing because they are so cold. They're then interrupted by Eddie, and Funky gives him some shit about his attitude. I didn't like that. I've written it in a way that sounds quite like that, but basically amounts to Funky being like that. Man, what is your problem?
Yes.
Get your shit together. Why you got to be so angry all the time? Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
But they all then go on a run of comparing levels of crankiness. Oh, I'm angrier because of this and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Before the apes realise Eddie has a club. So they sort of go, yeah, he's got a club, he probably wins. So they then run away. Again, didn't mind it.
Yeah, it had some comedic value.
Yeah. DK and Diddy are at K. Rool's lair, and the plan is now to sneak inside. This is all over the place. Funky and Cranky have managed to escape Eddie, and Cranky realises they can't get close to Eddie and give him the tonic. Like, how am I going to be able to give it to him? I'm not going to be able to give it to him to drink, is it? He's not going to drink it. No. However, Funky comes up with the idea of using a snowball to administer the tonic. And I was like, huh? How? Okay, right, fair enough. Inside K. Rool's lair, Clump orders Crusher to look after the coconut while he goes after K. Rool, who's gone to the White Mountains. Everyone, including the minions, though, immediately fall asleep because they're so exhausted. DK suggests that Diddy sneak up and take it from Crusher's hand. Funky and Cranky are preparing to throw the tonic snowball at Eddie. But so their plan is basically, it's inside the snowball, throw it in his mouth.
Yes, in his mouth, yeah.
Okay. Why not? It's a cartoon show.
Yeah.
And they think Eddie's coming along, but the noise they hear turns out to be K. Rool, who's with a minion. Clump then arrives behind to tell K. Rool that they have the coconut. And K. Rool declares that Congo Bongo is now his. And I just wrote, why? Why?
Yep.
Why is having the coconut the prerequisite to ruling it? Because surely they're just about, well, we're going to get it back from me. Like, it's not like I've got it and then I'll be like, oh, hey, okay, Rool. Do you know what I mean?
It's like the one ring, man. It's like the power, I don't know.
What I would understand more is if it was like the Apple of Eden. You hold it and you can control people. Right? That would make more sense. Yep. So K. Rool could use it for that aspect.
Suck bloody Donkey Kong's energy from him. Like, if you hold it in front of him, I don't know.
Well, like Shang Tsung.
Yeah, like, I'm going to take your soul.
Going dark routes.
Some sort of power, man.
But naturally, Cranky is just mad that leaving DK in charge and like, literally, like, why do I leave this idiot in charge? Yes. But he does declare things can't get any worse. Oh, it turns out they can. As along comes Eddie in a massive roar. Funky throws a snowball, but Eddie, hilariously, which made me laugh, just bats it away like a freaking baseball. And it hits K. Rool in the face. This causes K. Rool to start laughing uncontrollably, which causes Eddie and Club to start laughing because of K. Rool. The noise ends up causing an avalanche, but Cranky, Funky, and Eddie are able to run away. Very strong sequence here. Very silly, very funny, very well done. All the little pieces falling into place, really well done. Don't mind it at all. Only problem with it, and it's nitpicking, thought you had to add an ingredient in the last minute.
True.
Define what was the last minute.
That's a good point, I missed that, actually.
Yeah, so you added it before you put it in the snowball? So what if you weren't able to do the snowball for an hour or two?
Or was it the snowball, the ingredients?
Maybe, interesting, maybe. In K. Rool's lair, Diddy has managed to get the Crusher but can't reach the coconut. They're doing a thing where Crusher's falling asleep and holding it like that, and Diddy is too small to get it. But the nearby avalanche causes the room to shake, which wakes Crusher up. Somehow, though, in between that part, DK managed to get the coconut, which we didn't see. And he's starting to sneak off, but Crusher sees him with the coconut and then orders the minions into action. It doesn't matter, though, as the apes just escape in a minecart. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, I suppose, time people. Yeah. K. Rool and Clump are stuck in the snow, and the former can't stop laughing as we see Cranky and Funky leaving in a plane. Back at his hut, Cranky reverses the spell that caused the coconut to float, and it's now safely back in its case. DK apologises, but Cranky's like, look, you know what? I'm tired. I don't give a shit. We'll talk about this tomorrow. I just want to go to sleep because before Eddie's good mood passes, he's like, he's in a good mood. Go to sleep. And then generally one of the best and clever written endings ever of this show to date. As Cranky starts to go off to sleep, Eddie's laughter now starts to make loads of noise, causing Cranky to wake up. And I was like, yes, that's really, really good. That's really good writing. That the complete opposite is just going to cause the same effect. I don't mind that. I enjoyed it. This is a good episode, I think, for the most part.
Yeah.
What it didn't need is K. Rool shit.
Yes.
Remove all of the Crystal Coconut bullshit and focus on his trying to deal with Eddie. But if you want to include K. Rool, have the same situation where K. Rool wants to solve the Eddie problem as well, and they work together to fix it.
I said again, it's the same thing. They needed 5 minutes for the episode. 5 minutes to add.
Which is why we get the Crystal Coconut nonsense, the floating and all that kind of thing. But it's a fun episode. It does a few different things here with some fun, frantic sequences. Like, so we go back to the snowball and the batting away in K. Rool. That all takes place in about 30 seconds. And it's entertaining to watch because as they threw the snowball, and then he just bat away immediately, and Cranky and Funky just go, oh. I went, ha! Like, I laughed out loud, because I was like, didn't expect that. That was good stuff overall. I enjoyed the Clump and Crusher constantly falling asleep. I love the idea that everybody was affected by this, because Eddie was in a particularly bad... Because you can even be like, oh, well, why has this never bothered them before? But let's just put down that Eddie was in a particularly bad mood. You know? I do think they need to get Eddie some help, though, because it seems like the dude might actually be suffering from depression or something. You know, which would be a really deep turn for the show to take. But this was a good episode. Nothing great, nothing groundbreaking or spectacular. But I feel like the series is starting to get an understanding of how to tell stories that almost like a vein run through the entire arc, rather than focusing on here's a DK problem. It's now got a line. What's beginning to happen as well is where we've been around and seen the characters. I'm starting to get an image of Congo Bongo. And thinking, right, here's the apes. There's the White Mountains. There's K. Rool's lair. Like a map, basically. And that's kind of cool as well. That's an interesting thing. We're starting to get that basis I also think it really helps as well. We're starting to understand personalities.
Yes.
Like, I'm starting to find I'm not getting as mad about K. Rool's idiot plans because I'm accepting that K. Rool is just an idiot.
Is an idiot, full stop,
yeah, like that kind of thing. But I'm also kind of understanding like the motivations of Funky a bit better. So I'm not so frustrated and being like, they're just annoying at this stage, you know? And like I said, the stuff where like Funky can't hear Cranky, so turns the engine off. It's absurdly stupid. But it made me laugh.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, okay, that works. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's episode number 9. Was that 9? I forgot which one it was. Episode 9. Episode 9, Cranky's Tickle Tonic. Worth a watch. Yeah, worth getting through to this one.
Yep.
Got any thoughts on it? Let us know in the comments.
Thank you very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, please help us out by giving us a thumbs up and hitting that subscribe button. If you really liked what you saw, consider donating to keep the website and channel running by buying us a coffee via our coffee page or picking up some merch from our Big Cartel store. You can check us out on gbhbl.com as well as via our social media, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, as well as listen to our interviews via SoundCloud, Apple Music and Spotify. Just search for GBHBL. Games, horror and heavy metal. What else is life for?